Alright, what's going on, guys? Beastars, chapter 184. It looks like the Black Market Alley Turf War is coming to its climax. Facing the chaos, we've been watching the flower bloom and the fruit bear. Let's get right into it. Now, I should mention that when it says fruit bear, it's spelled it B-E-A-R, as in the animal. So I'm not sure if that's sort of alluding to something, or if it's just sort of a play on words for the sake of, hey, hey, look what I did there. I turned bear into the actual mammal bear. Or if maybe Riz is going to come into the fold at some point, who knows? So let's get right into the review, guys. So if you remember from last time, Yafia was sort of serving himself up for the rest of the carnivores in the Black Market Alley. He was kind of like, hey, you want a taste? Come get some. And a lot of the carnivores are salivating at this notion. They're just looking at him like, oh my gosh, that meat must taste so fucking delicious. It's not only horse meat, but it's the Beastar. And, the rarer the type of animal, the tastier the meat. Or, so the legend goes. So they're all getting ready, but they're not really sure how to respond right now. They're kind of a little bit hesitant. And right before anything happens, we transition back over to Melon and Legosi. And Melon's kind of remarking, hey, it looks like the power's gone out. And Legosi decides to ask him the question. He's like, okay, so Melon, can you in fact see in the dark? Can you see like a carnivore or can you see like an herbivore? Because he's mixed blood, so we really don't know that at this point. I guess it's just speculative. I mean, it's hard to really say. But the fact that he's sort of going through this transformation and he's becoming more leopard would make me think that he could probably see in the dark. However, Legosi decides to make a move on him. He just springs forward in the cover of darkness and lands a huge punch right on Melon's face. So maybe Melon can't see in the darkness. Now, it's very interesting because, when Legosi is punching Melon in the face, Melon makes this sound, ah, with a little heart. And this felt very reminiscent of the time that Gon from Hunter x Hunter was, laying some punches and some kicks down on Hisoka. And Hisoka was just getting aroused by this fact and... made some very interesting faces and sounds as well. Very fascinating and funny stuff. Also, we do find out that it looks like Melon has killed over 40 animals. I'm not sure if they've stated this previously, I can't remember, but goddamn, Melon sure doesn't waste time, does he? I mean, he goes for the neck, if you know what I mean. Now, just as Legosi has got Melon down on the ground, Melon decides he's going to start fighting back, and he pulls off some acrobatic move where he just kind of flips over, gets on top of Legosi, and just starts walloping on him. And Melon's got a size advantage here, so it looks like it's going pretty bad for Legosi. We even see some blood spraying in the air as well. And Melon is just going nuts here. And then there's a very interesting scene where, he's like, Legosi, after killing you, I'll check if there's any more change to my body. So it seems like Legosi's fight in the Black Market Alley is sort of manifesting this whole change in Melon's body. And Melon sort of senses this. And he's sort of prognosticating that if he can kill Legosi, that he'll even go through a bigger change than the one he's already had. Now, the photo here when he's like talking like this and he's got this crazy look on his face, I don't like the way that his body is drawn in this manga panel. He almost looks sort of fat. He's definitely got muscles, but something about the way he's drawn just doesn't look right. The positioning of his hands almost makes him look like he's like clenching his breast or something. He kind of looks rotund. He doesn't look very cut up or muscular. He just looks sort of pudgy. Not a very well drawn manga panel there. And then just as this is happening, the lights turn back on in the Black Market Alley. We go back to Yafia and Gosha, and all the carnivores that were presumably ready to eat Yafia are holding hands with the herbivores and singing Kumbaya and having a peaceful time. So a little bit cliched. Kind of reminiscent of The Dark Knight. I actually referenced this a few times in the last couple of chapters where I kind of felt like they would set up a scenario in which they would sort of test the carnivore's resolve and, they would sort of come through it like the people in The Dark Knight, when they were on the boat and they were put in a situation where they had to kill each other to save themselves. Now, that situation was set up by the Joker, whereas Melon, this sort of just happened by happenstance. But I feel like the result is more or less the same. Melon, was kind of counting on the fact that everyone would go crazy and that the carnivores would just give in to their natural instincts. And, the herbivores would, as a result, run away in fear and ostracize the carnivores and sort of put more limitations on them. And this would sort of breed more distrust in the society and could permanently change things forever. But Haru kind of went with the cliched Hollywood-esque ending, if you will. Not that it's a bad thing, but if this was a real-life situation, I feel like things would have happened differently. Even if, say, the majority of them decided that peace was the best way, you would still have a cohort of the carnivores that would give in to their urges. I'm almost certain of this. But anyway, the chapter ends with Melon. He has a very shocked look on his face, and we see a pair of hands grabbing onto his shoulders. So presumably that's Legoshi, and he's either getting ready to fight, or what I think, maybe he's getting ready to embrace Melon and say something to the effect of, "Hey, I understand you. I got what I needed out of this battle. I finally understand what a carnivore-herbivore hybrid is like, and I can finally have a baby with Haru because I feel confident that I can mold and raise that child in a way that will be beneficial rather than detrimental, like in the way that Melon's mom raised him, which was very detrimental. So certainly a possibility, but who knows? Things may change in the next chapter, but it kind of looks like things are wrapping up for the Revenge of the Love Failure arc. So we'll have to see how things sort of tie themselves off. And if we get another arc after this, I hope we do. We got so much more to resolve in terms of Juno and Louie's relationship and Legoshi and Haru's relationship. So a lot of loose ends there. But yeah, interesting chapter, guys. And tell me what you thought in the comments. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side.